Chapter 26 Forged in the Fog is finally upon us, featuring the new killer, the Knight. Today, we're going to be teaching you how to play as him. Kings and Queens, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. It is time to learn how to play the Knight. Let's start off with the basics. The Knight has a movement speed of 115%, a terror radius of 32 meters. The Knight is one of the more strategic killers in the game, allowing you to send some of your faithful guards to hunt down the survivors and even damage some objects on the battlefield. The Knight comes with 3 unique teachable perks: Nowhere to Hide, Hex Face the Darkness, and Hubris, which allow him to reveal survivors near generators, curse survivors to scream out in fear, and cause a survivor who stuns you to become exposed. We'll speak more about this in a second. For now, let's take a look at his power. So the Knight can summon guards to patrol nearby areas and hunt survivors or execute tasks for him. In order to do this, you need to tap the power button to activate the guard to summon them. While using this power, you will essentially be in a third body experience. You will see yourself. Think about this as ferret type of mode where you can walk around. However, anywhere that you walk around will create a path for the guard that you summon to walk. You will see this path once you're fully done using the power with a green line. The guard will walk in this path until your power gauge is fully depleted. Every time you use a guard, the next guard will be up on the list to go and patrol. So when you're done in this spirit type of mode, it will end your summon and one of the 3 guards will start patrolling in a fixed order. They will all do your bidding and they all have their special and unique abilities. The Carnifex is the first one, which breaks or damages objects faster and has a longer hunt phase. This is great for when you want to break generators or breakable walls. You can basically take your path, put it in the direction of a generator, and once you're there, use the button that it tells you to, and you'll be able to damage a generator, pallet, or wall at your standard rate. The next person on the list is the Assassin. They move faster during a hunt and cause deep wounds when attacking. So essentially, you want to use the Assassin whenever someone's nearby. Try to get the pathing where you think a survivor is going to go to, because the Assassin is really good while in hunt. And finally, we have the Jailer. The Jailer moves faster during a patrol, has a longer detection range, and has a longer patrol phase. So they're really good at guarding. They also kind of do the Assassin's job, so they kind of go together. It's whichever one you prefer, in my opinion, and I like to take the Jailer, but we'll get to that in a second. Now keep in mind, while you are using this guard summon mode, you won't be able to see any of the survivors, but you will still be able to hear them, so you can appropriately put your pathing. When the guards actually spawn in, they spawn in where your pathing ends. Once they're there, they will land on the ground and a big circle will appear around them. If any survivor steps within this circle during this time when they're in their pathing, they will go into their hunting mode. By doing this, they will turn into a ghost and slowly walk over towards the survivor. Once they're there, they'll place a flag and they'll start chasing the survivor until the power gauge is fully completed. If they hit the survivor or you hit the survivor, they will disappear. The flag is there for a survivor to pick up. If the survivor manages to loop back around or somehow pick up the flag, they will get a little bit of a boost with speed. If you ever want to stop a guard from patrolling your path, you can also now attack them with your basic attack and they will completely disappear. And also keep in mind that when a survivor is being hunted by one of your guards, they can essentially stop this by unhooking another survivor, grabbing the standard flag, or surviving until the hunt elapses. And again, if the guard or the Knight themselves attacks the hunted survivor, the guard will disappear. If a guard downs the hunted survivor, the Knight will receive a Killer Instinct notification of a downed survivor's location. The Knight also comes with 3 unique teachable perks, as we mentioned. Nowhere to Hide. The auras of all survivors within 24 meters of your position are revealed to you for 3, 4, and 5 seconds after you damage a generator. This one is pretty good as it gives you information whenever you damage a generator. This is pretty good because if anyone is hiding next to a generator after working on it, you'll automatically know where they're at. Information is king in Dead by Daylight, so this is absolutely perfect. Hex Face the Darkness. Once you injure a survivor by any means, if there is still a dull totem remaining on the map, Hex Face the Darkness activates and lights. After all survivors, all other survivors will scream every 35, 30, and 25 seconds if they are outside of the killer's terror radius, revealing their auras for 2 seconds each time. Again, this is another informational type of perk, and it's pretty good to have on gimmicky builds. This won't be one that you want to put in your main build. I'm sure if you run 3 other perks to work good with this, you can get a lot of information, but I think this is one of the worst perks out of the Knight set. All in all, still an alright perk, as it does give you a lot of information every 2 seconds, but it's up to you if you want to use it. Hubris is the final perk for the Knight, and this one, in my opinion, is the best one so far. Whenever you're stunned by a survivor, that survivor suffers from the exposed status effect for 20 seconds, and this has a 20-second cooldown. If you combine this with Enduring and Spirit Fury, that survivor is dead. There's no ifs or buts about it. If you force a stun to come down, they're pretty much dead. So as long as you break 2 pallets and you have your Spirit Fury ready, you can easily get a survivor down. You can use this on the Knight or any other killer, as it's a really, really good perk. So let's jump on into some gameplay. When you're playing at the Knight, this is pretty standard. You're a 115 killer with a 32-meter radius, and you pretty much go about your job as normal. Walk around, hit survivors, as if you would with any other M1 killer. There's nothing significant or special about using the Knight himself besides his power, so in this state, you're pretty much a regular good old killer. Play it as if you would any other killer, with the exception of Nurse, of course, and you pretty much will get your job done. This is where the power comes in. Now, while in game, you can know which guard is ready to be summoned by looking in the bottom right. You'll see there is a green glowing icon, each showing you which guard will be able to summon: the Carnifex, the Assassin, or the Jailer. Now again, all of these are unique in their own ways, so make sure you're using them correctly. If there is a generator around, use the Carnifex to break anything generator's pallets. While you're in chase, you can summon the Carnifex to break a pallet while you go around a certain way. Use them to break breakable walls to cut survivors off. This can work in your favor. If you see that the Assassin is around, the Assassin is especially good for just dropping them while you're in chase again. So if someone is looping you by the Killer Shack, for example, put the pathing around the Killer Shack and then try to cut the survivor off. This works significantly well, as the Assassin moves faster during the hunt and also causes some deep wounds, so you can easily get the survivor down. And finally, we have the Jailer. The Jailer's on your hand. Use them to patrol around certain areas that you know survivors are going to be at. For example, this is a little bit scummy, but it still does work. If someone is on the hook, or if someone's on the basement, or if you know that there is generators around in a 3-gen strat, use the Jailer to patrol this area. This is going to make it significantly easier, as they have a larger detection range, so it's very easy to latch onto the survivors and they're not able to dodge it as frequently as they possibly can. And now remember, the survivors can actually see the circle on the ground as well, so you can go around the opposite way while your guard is not in that area to take a look if anybody's trying to hide while they are no longer in the circle. You can catch them off guard. If at any point your guard is chasing someone, it's good to try to cut them off in the opposite direction so they have no other options or places to go. You can also use this for them to attack other people while you're chasing someone else to make that pressure work good as well. Don't forget that you can also put them around some of the exit gates, so keep that in mind. And that, my friends, is pretty much the basic strategy of the Knight and their guards. Make sure that you're using his guards to patrol specific areas and using all of the guards to their best of their ability. So let's talk about some good perk synergy that you can use on the Knight that will help their power. There's a couple builds that I have in mind that could be pretty good. The first one that I have in mind is Enduring, Spirit Fury, and Hubris. You can also combine this with a gen-stopping perk, and this is going to be a fantastic build. Again, the Knight is one of those M1 killers, so you don't necessarily need anything too significant to help him, so this is something that you can use in the meantime that would work quite nice. Essentially, if anybody stuns you, you can easily knock them down, and you're also using one of the newer perks, which is quite nice. Another great build for the Knight is the more informative type of build. If you use something like Nowhere to Hide, I'm All Airs, Scourge Hook, Floods of Rage, and another gen regression perk, this is going to be pretty good to know where the survivors are hiding or where they're going, to understand their pathing, and you can use your summons in order to cut them off. So if they go in a fast vault while in chase, you can know where to put your guards to stop them and cut them off while you come the other way to stop them. You can also use floods of rage to know exactly where the survivors are hiding or lurking, or know where to hide, so whenever they're lurking around a generator, you can easily get them down. And your final build will just be your standard M1 killer build. This build is just your standard build that you can run on any killer, and it works tremendously well on the knight, as the knight, again, as I mentioned, is your standard M1 killer. And finally, we're going to talk about some of the add-ons that are really good for the knight. I'm going to try to give you one add-on for every single rarity that is the best one that you can use. So here we go. Gritty Lump is a fantastic brown add-on as it increases the movement speed of the guards on patrol by 9%. It doesn't sound significant, it isn't too significant, but 9% can catch a survivor off guard if they think that the circle on the floor is going to move a little bit slower. If you don't like this, you also can use the Tabard. This is going to increase the guard's duration by 6 seconds. Admittingly, I don't like this one because if the survivors know where the range is, they can kind of just avoid it, and with the extra time, it doesn't help you if they are avoiding it, so I would prefer to have the movement speed. For the yellow rarity add-ons, the Cold Steel Manacles are pretty good. This allows the Jailer to appear twice in a row while cycling through your power, and I like the Jailer personally because they have the biggest radius. It's much more difficult to avoid this circle if you're in their range. By the time you're getting ready to run out there, chances are the Jailer might catch you. So I like having this because the Jailer, in my opinion, is one of the better people to have. If you prefer anybody else, the Assassin is definitely someone that people really enjoy. You can also use the Treated Blade in order to get the Assassin to appear twice as well. These are essentially the same add-on, just a matter of preference between the Jailer and the Assassin. Personally, I like the Jailer because of the bigger radius. The Assassin moves faster chasing survivors, as you know, so you might want to get that if you like them. For the green add-ons, they're all pretty much just different status effects. Personally, I like the Hemorrhage one because it's giving you essentially a perk like Sloppy Butcher by giving you Hemorrhage. This is Chain Mail Fragment. Guards inflict the Hemorrhage status effect when damaging a survivor. All of the other ones essentially do the same thing, just with a different status effect: Undetectable, Oblivious, Blindness, and Mangled. Again, it is completely up to you what you want to use. I think Hemorrhage is the best out of these. That's just my opinion. Again, these add-ons are a little bit more up in the air on what you prefer, and for me, that is going to be Hemorrhage. For the purple add-on, this one is kind of a tie, in my opinion, between the Lightweight Greaves and the Blacksmith's Hammer. The reason why I like the Lightweight Greaves is because after summoning the Jailer, this will increase the knight's movement speed by 10% for 6 seconds. So if you're in a chase, you can tactically summon the Jailer at any point in time to quickly get that speed boost and hit a survivor. It catches them off guard because 10% is huge, and I think this is one of the better add-ons for the knight. The next one is the Blacksmith's Hammer. If the survivor manages to outrun the Haunt effect, they will suffer from the Hindered status effect for 3 seconds. And they're also exhausted for 15 seconds. So while you're in chase, if you are chasing them, they will essentially become slower, and this can help you in your chases. So it's a matter of if you want the survivors to move 3% slower, or do you want to move 10% faster. Now, the two Iridescents, in my opinion, are both pretty alright. Again, this is up to you. I would never use them in my build. I think the best bang for your buck are going to be the lower rarity add-ons, so I'll show them both on screen here, and if you do like any of them, feel free to use it. But there you go, guys. The knight is finally in Dead by Daylight, and I hope you guys enjoy playing as them. You can get your hands on this for absolutely free with some shards. You don't need to use Orc Cells because this is a original chapter. They have a lot of cool things to offer, and I'm sure more changes will be coming out for them as well. But give it some practice, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy the knight as well. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any tips or questions, and I'll try my best to answer everything and give feedback. But that essentially is how you play the knight in Dead by Daylight. I had a ton of fun playing them in the PTP. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below, subscribe for some more Dead by Daylight content. Don't forget, we are live on Twitch playing as the knight right now, so we'll love to see you there. As always, I'm the king. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fall.
I'm living life like a king. Gold on my neck, boy, gold on my rings. Crown got the tilt, I ain't worried about a thing here. Flow so new, but I'm acting like I've been here. See, this what I've been doing since the drop. Fire on the arrow when I tell them all to knock. Once I get it going, ain't no way I'm